Hello and welcome to another beautiful day right here. It is a global roundtable. And as a matter of fact, we will be looking at some very important stories from the national dailies and some stories from around the world. It is a global show. And of course, let's get into the issue. A lot of things happening in Nigeria. Well, the headlines cannot really capture all. And same manner, we won't be able to talk about everything on the round table. This evening, we will be talking about the few that we can really talk about before our time is up. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and of course, I have two guests joining me on the program today. One is already seated in the studio, and the other is going to be joining us online, all right, via Zoom as we talk about some major headlines today. And joining me in the studio here, of course, is a journalist and a political analyst in the person of Joel Oladile. It's good to have you join us on Global Roundtable today.
A beautiful evening to you, Ramsey, and a beautiful evening to our viewers out there.
Yes.
Nice to be on the show today.
Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, actually, he's joining us again. All right, let's get to talk about, first of all, what is happening in Rivers State. Finally, as at today, the impeachment move against Fubara has been withdrawn. Can we now say, there's a way they used to call it, should we shout, praise the Lord, Nango de Allah, Oluwa Esheun, or what do we say?
The battle is over.
For
now, let's say the battle is over. So everybody will have to, sheath their sword, or how do they normally put it?
Yes.
So the president has intervened. This is to show you that the main reason for the fight has never been in the interest of the state, neither is it in the interest of the masses. It's just, everything is just personal interest. So somehow they've met themselves and the personal interests have been addressed. So you and I, we can keep off the matter. That's what it means. So I thought this would have affected the FCT minister somehow. But thank God, Tinubu was magnanimous enough, or is magnanimous enough to undo it this way. It's a win-win situation. Otherwise, it would have been an opportunity for him to bury the FCT minister politically if he had thrown his weight behind the governor of Rivers State, Fubara. FCT minister would not have been able to come out of this, but he called them and brought them together to the table and say, see, there is no reason to fight. Everybody can always win. We can always win if we look at the situations together. And they didn't disclose whatever it is that they discussed, but I want to believe that everybody won at last. And that is why
victory at last for both parties.
Victory at last. I just hope, because the major victory for me will be the victory for the people.
For the people.
But to some extent, I don't see this as a total victory for the people. But then somehow, it is what it is.
Well, it is what it is. But then let's just keep our fingers crossed and see what is really going to happen. But you said something. Well, let me not quote there by saying, if the president had supported Fubara,
yes.
Well, the FCT minister, maybe he would have found another way out, to...
It would have been difficult. It would have been very difficult.
I was
analyzing this thing to someone when in the midst of the whole battle. I told someone, the person was saying, the president should leave
the
Fubara, that the president should not back Fubara, and I said, if the president today decides to withdraw his support for Wike, then who is Wike to fight governor, a sitting governor? If you look at this history of Rivers State, especially the one that is very close to us, in 2015, this kind of political battle happened between the then immediate former governor Amechi and Wike. But for the fact that the then president Buhari was indifferent, You know, he was the type who could not, I mean, he didn't like playing politics, you know, to the gallery like that. So he just decided to stay aloof. He allowed the two of them to face each other. Because of that, Wike used all the state apparatus to fight Amechi. At a point, Amechi could not even enter Rivers State. It will have been the same thing. A sitting governor, an average Nigerian governor, is a very powerful one. The moment they swear them in as governor, they are as powerful as anything. The whole state apparatus, everything is in their control. But because the FCT minister has the federal backing, Fubara could not really deal with him. But even the House of Assembly members, that you thought were supporting FCT minister.
Is because of the president?
Yes, it's because they know.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's because they are aware that he still has federal might. The day they discover that the president is not backing him, that is the day the loyalty will shift. But politics is a funny game.
But someone said something. Someone said, well, if you want to talk about Rivers State politics, we can an APC chief stain here on my program, was it on issues also, said, well, Fubara shouldn't have gone to TV or open his mouth to pronounce that he's 001 of Rivers State. That there are elders, in the party and all of that. Which governor did he see coming out to do?
It's actually very funny.
I was like, but he said something, and I was trying to reason with him. He said, if you go to Rivers State, the kind of support that Wike has in Rivers State is not something that Fubara can have in the next couple of years. That even Fubara was Wike's boy at a time.
Wike too was someone's boy at a time before he could attain that kind of level of power in court. So if you allow Fubara to operate freely too, without federal backing, for Wike, I want to believe Fubara too will grow and it will become powerful and formidable factor in Rivers State politics. The same thing happened to Amechi then to Wike. It has always been like that when it comes to Rivers politics, because the resources are there for them to manage. They have the number. When it comes to politics, is a game of number too. They have the number and they have the resources. So I don't want to believe that narrative that it shouldn't have come out because there is no how he can gain the kind of relevance that Wike has. Give him time and let there be no federal backing for Wike, and let's see whether we have that kind of power or not. Then coming out to declare himself as and it's normal. Even the party he joined, he cross-carpeted to APC, makes it clear in their constitution. The governor is the leader of the party at the state level. It's as simple as that. Although maybe considering the fact that there is a kind of brouhaha going on, maybe he shouldn't have come out to pronounce himself, but it's normal. Eventually they said, the president resolved it that, okay, make him your leader, call him leader. My people will say, call a madman my husband so that he can allow you to pass. That's what he does. So just call a madman, my husband, then he will allow you to pass.
All right, so even the madmen too.
Yes. Say, my husband, I hear you, he will allow you to pass.
Well, the issue of power and influence, one thing that is even surprising to a lot of Nigerians is the fact that these people that we're talking about here, they are not poor. They have money, they have the influence, but there is this, why sometimes you'll be thinking, why not even put the interest of the people first? Not to talk about, I am your boss, you need to do whatever I say, without even considering the people. The people are poor to an extent, averagely, or however anyone wants to put it. But these other people who are in politics are rich, and they want to be getting richer. So it's always amazing when you see some things happening, and they don't put the people first. Because all the brouhaha that happened, it was the people of Rivers State that suffered it.
They really suffered it. And I really pity that state. A rich state with being treated in a poorly manner like that is quite unfortunate because of the selfish interest of some group of individuals, and then they held the whole state to ransom for years. It's not fair. But then I expressed the same worries like you just did. When I see the way our leaders keep amassing wealth, they are rich already, yet they still keep. Anyway, it's in human nature. Oliver Twist. We always want to. Human need is insatiable. I think they taught us that.
You need more in economics.
Yes, human need or want is not even need. Our need. I think our if you have to look at,
are essential.
They are essential, and they are limited. Like, it's not. We don't need everything. We don't need the whole world. But in our own imagination, we feel we want everything. It's our want that is that are insatiable, not our needs. So you have this, you still want to have more, you still want to have more. A state governor want to gather more wealth so that when the opportunity to contest as president comes, he will have money to spend. That's the way they operate. The sitting one want to have enough money so that he can have more than enough to play around with when it's time to contest for the second time. If you want to leave office, you want to have enough money in his cover so that after leaving office, he can have something. The way we think. I was coming.
Is it the way we think or the way politicians think?
It's not only politicians.
People will tell you it is when you get there.
It's not only politicians.
You don't think
it's not only politicians. We have some people in business too and some other people. And you will begin to wonder, why is it that you keep amassing wealth? There are people. I was discussing this with someone recently that majority of these people, even in their immediate family, there are people who need money. Yet, they sit down comfortably, walk around comfortably with billions of naira sitting in their account without having pity without thinking that let me at least empower someone. They walk around on our street, they see how poor people are, how poor masses are, how people are struggling. We know that all of us cannot be rich. There will always be poor in the land, just like the scripture says. But then, if there must be poor in the land, must you contribute to it? What are you doing to reduce the number of poor people we have in the society? It is a global thing, but it is more in Africa. And I will say it is worse in Nigeria.
All right, let's quickly move to those states. Before now, if you want to talk about killings, the first place your mind goes to is the north. Yes, killing, terrorist attack, banditry, kidnapping, and the rest. Say, if you're traveling that road, that Kaduna-Abuja road is not passable because of kidnappers and all of that. But now, the thing is so much in Ondo State. Just in the National Daily today, we heard that a monarch was killed. And I was on this morning during the breakfast program, I was saying, if a king
could be murdered in that manner.
Remember, a king, whether you like it or not, will have guards.
Yes, guards.
And even some people have other whatever they want to believe in.
I even learned even this particular one.
What is the hope of the people if the king can just
It's simple. Nowhere is safe in the country again. It's that simple. As a matter of fact, I sat down this morning and I was trying to imagine the current wave of insecurity in the country. I don't think we've ever had it this bad. Sorry to say. When under Buhari, under Jonathan, this thing was limited to a particular region of the country.
But as it is
now, it's just almost everywhere. Nowhere is safe. It is. It happened in my state last week.
Yes,
it's Kwara State. So it's not only in Ondo State. Kwara State that has always been peaceful, but in recent time has always been in the news for bad reasons.
I could remember everyone wants to go to Ilorin because of
they didn't just target state of harmony. It's because once you get to that environment, you know that this is such a home away from home. If you're a stranger, the way they will attend to you, they were just so accommodating. So in the name of being accommodating, they took in a lot of strangers. I wouldn't know, maybe that's what is responsible for the current wave of insecurity going on there. But as I speak to you, nowhere is safe in that state currently. And many other part of the state, of the country. Nigeria has become a danger zone where it is safer for a goat to roam around, to roam on the street than human being to walk around. Like a goat that is roaming on the street. I wrote an open letter to the Kwara State governor when the one that happened in my community happened last week. And I told the governor that under your watch, it is fast becoming as if it's safer for goats to roam around, to roam on the street, than for human being. Because you are just sitting in your home, you are sleeping, you don't know where the next attack can come from. It's quite unfortunate that a whole monarch in Ondo State could be murdered like a chicken. I read the news and I felt really bad.
Is it far-fetched that could be a communal issue or an internal issue?
I don't want to believe it's a communal issue. But it's possible. One of the questions I asked in the open letter was that, is there an agenda they are not telling us that they are aware of? It's first looking as if there is actually an agenda that we, the citizens, are not aware of. Because if you look at majority of these bandits, terrorists, they are from a particular tribe. Let's not shy away from saying the truth. We hear people saying this is a particular language they speak. If it happened in Kwara, they will tell you these people, if you ask them to describe they say this is a particular language they speak. So is there an agenda? It's not a communal clash. Like, for example, in my own state, which clash? We are not clashing with anybody. I mean, in my community, there was no clash anywhere. One of the forest guard that was recently trained, you know, to safeguard the people, he has always been a vigilante. He has done all he could all his life just to ensure that he protects his people. Yet, he was targeted. It was a well-coordinated attack. His wife was kidnapped. We were not fighting anybody.
What about him?
You mean him? He was not fighting anybody other than protecting his people as well.
His life was taken?
His life was taken. His only offense was maybe because he was a strong and among those who are watching over the land. He was targeted and was eliminated.
All right, let's go global a little bit and talk about the United States.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that people believe helped the United States so much, the level of their intelligence, their training.
Yes.
In fact, they are referred to as world power. But these same people are having collaboration with Nigeria after the December attack.
Yes.
That's not an attack.
After the declaration
of Nigeria as a
state of particular
concern. Since then, there was a visitation in December. Let me call it a visitation where they struck the camp of
Sokoto.
So now the federal government have said there is a collaboration with these people. With all of this happening,
it's really surprising.
Can we say it's not holding, the collaboration is not holding water? Or
definitely it's not. If you are coming to collaborate with me to fight insurgency, to fight terrorism, and then when you start, it's when the whole thing is escalating. Then we need to ask ourselves questions. I really don't know, because we are not feeling the effect. I wouldn't know whether the collaboration has started, but all I heard was that they first deployed certain number of people. Then I heard last week that another number of people landed.
Probably they are still studying the terrain.
So if they are studying the terrain, for how long? Because the whole thing is becoming unbearable.
But the attack is reducing in the north, right?
Perhaps, I think yes, in recent time, maybe there is a kind of migration from that area to another part of the country, is what I don't know.
What happened to our checkpoints? How do these people move? Do they trek in the bush?
Definitely they walk around in the forest. That's why I said this thing can move from this thing is traceable to a particular tribe who are so used to, you know, moving around in the forest all their life before. Sorry to say. Because someone who is not used to walking around in the forest will not just wake up one day and they are so used, they know all the forest. All the nooks and crannies of the forest in your community, they know it. They don't walk on the road, they hardly do that. They move around in our forest. It's like we have been surrounded, and it's quite a sorry case. Look at Ondo State, the state of the gallant Rotimi Aketi, who came up with the idea of Amotekun. The man is no more now. It's late. Yet, all these are happening behind him. So it's quite unfortunate, and I just hope it's a call to action for the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We keep appealing. They keep telling us they are doing a lot about it. Okay, I met the Minister of Defense at an event recently, and I specifically asked him this question: that what is taking us this long? That was my question to him. What is taking us this long, like, to overcome this battle of terrorism? And I love the answer, the response he gave. He said, he called it one asymmetric. This is not a conventional war. It's not a conventional war where you know that, oh, people from this place, they are my enemies. You are prepared that, okay, if it is a tribal war, if it is, you know that someone from a particular tribe is your enemy. But this is non-conventional war where you don't know where your enemies are coming from. You don't know who you even offended that is targeting you. So I really understand his plight, the way he was talking that day, but I just hope with prayer, with more effort, because it's not, we shouldn't leave this to the government alone. They feel, it seems that they have been overpowered. Let me put it that way. Even when they are speaking, they speak as if they are helpless too. So we can only try our best as citizens to keep crying to them while we keep praying to God. Because one of the major or the primary roles of any government is the security of life and property. So, and they really need to deliver on that to us.
All right, let's move from Ondo State right now, everyone, and talk about things happening in Nigeria, the power sector. So much happening right there. And a lot of people can't do businesses, a lot of homes. In fact, someone told me a few days ago, say, for the past how many weeks, it's been low voltage in that area where they stay. Now, NLC now, all right,
okay,
fires back at APGC and Genco over 60 trillion naira bailout demand. You know, you are demanding for a bailout, all right? Probably maybe you are indebted, or
yes,
there are things you need to do and you need the money to execute. This power that we're talking about, generation of this power, I don't know, maybe because they said it is in grades now, because I cannot remember when Nigerians have come out to say we have enough power generated. Because sometimes they'll come and tell you, well, we'll generate so we generated, but we never saw it, even though Nigerians are paying heavily.
It is well. It's all I wish. Honestly,
it is well.
Since I was born, we've been complaining about this same issue. And it gets me emotional at times when I think about a lot of things that depend on power supply, yet are left to suffer just because we are still where we are. I just hope a government will wake up one day, even if they will forget about every other thing and focus on power. We are long overdue. We should, at this, in this era, we shouldn't be talking about, poor power supply again as a country. It's affecting us. It affects our productivity. I was telling someone that each time I'm going home and I realize that there is no power supply, your morale will drop. Your creativity will be, tampered with. But if there is light, you get home, there is light. You will be energetic enough do the.
See, the other day I was thinking, I said, is it magic? There is this strength, there is this level of composure when there is power.
When there is power, they don't just call that in power for its own. Just like that. They call it power. It actually gives power. So that name really fits it. It gives power, it energizes you. You will be more creative. You know, I do a lot of things with, I'm into multimedia, you know, and at times you need to charge your laptop to do certain things, to edit. People are waiting for you to deliver. These are the things that affect our productivity in this country. We are not asking for too much from government. Please, let me face the camera.
Please
just
do.
Please
do.
Whatever it will cost you, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, just to ensure that we get out of this erratic power supply, age-long power problem. Please attend to this. Whoever succeeds in solving this problem, his name will be written in gold. Nigerians will never forget such president.
And this is an amenity.
Honestly,
essential amenity.
Honestly,
basic amenity.
It's power. We will never forget. Generations, you know, unborn, we never forget. It's quite unfortunate that I heard a story of a child brought from America, or you know, I wouldn't know whether it's America or UK. Then there was power failure, and this child screamed. He started screaming.
The word was ending.
Yes, he has never seen such a thing like that since he was born. Maybe 5-7-year-old boy brought to Nigeria for Christmas celebration. There was power failure. He screamed, and everybody started looking at him that what is the problem with this one? We are used to it. Please, we don't want to get used to bad things. It was Reverend Sam Adeyemi that was saying it, that it is this mentality that you know, we were raised in the dark. We were raised in bad environment. So when we become, our leaders will come from among those who were raised from this kind of terrible situation. So when they get to power, they will also feel like it's normal. I escaped it. I survived it. So I expect people to also survive.
So
please, we are begging.
The suffering of the people as a normal thing,
because they have been through it, and they will be saying, since I survived it, so it's not too much. Thank God, me, I'm out of it. Now I can afford solar, I can afford generator in my this thing. But then, for how long are we going to continue? We are breeding another set of leaders who will be used to this kind of system too. Let's breed future leaders that will grow up in a comfortable, conducive environment, so that when they get to power, and people are complaining of poor power, erratic power supply, bad road, they will feel like, no, that is abnormal. They will see it as an abnormal thing, not a normal thing. And then by so doing, they will swing into action and then correct it. They will see reasons why they should correct such.
Well, there will see reasons why they should correct such. I'm thinking that someday, very soon, not far from now, maybe solar will take over the space, and of course we won't be talking about this. Even prepaid meter that we're told was going to be free, I've not heard anything after that.
They even said the government said don't pay them.
Don't pay them.
But if they refuse to give you, who will rescue you? As you know, you are eager to use power. People in charge, I mean, they will tell you have to pay so amount of money before you can. Though the government on paper, what they are saying is you must not pay them. But who did the government put any body in place to enforce that, to ensure that?
How would you even know when it's available?
So it will not be a fight between the consumers and the electricity distribution company. We shouldn't be. Don't just say it with mouth that don't pay for
prepaid meters.
What are you doing to enforce it, to ensure that you hold them responsible not to collect anything from the consumers?
So that's a big question now. We are moving progress. We are making progress, rather. Now, Senate tackles economic theme over poor implementation of budgets. Budget implementation in this country, it's like, it's either you are hearing budget padding. I grew up to meet what they call budget padding. Then now it is implementation.
So it's not a new thing. But I think is the I couldn't remember. I can't really remember. I think last year, maybe the implementation percentage of implementation of last year. That's 2024-2025 budget. I think it was maybe 30 or 40. I don't want to give any figure, but I know I read it somewhere. But it was a poor mark. So the president really needs to work on this. We hear money being budgeted on paper, yet no result, no visible result to prove it. I learned that in some developed countries, the budget will be made available to everybody, and you will know who is responsible for which project, so that when it's not being implemented, you can hold them responsible. This road leading to my house is in the budget. You already know. So when it's beginning to look like it's not being, nothing is being done, you know where to go to and say and raise the alarm that what happened? This road is in the budget. In terms of budget implementation, it's not just President Bola Tinubu administration alone, but I think it's getting worse. And the president really needs to do something about it. And I think one of the things is the passing of the budget. And I speak to you, the 2026 budget has not been passed.
But I think they are trying to tidy up these holes. So that
meanwhile, this is something that should have been ready latest by 30th of December or thereabout. And we are running into February. I mean March, going to March already. It means first quarter of the year is going. Budget has not been passed. That is not good enough.
And this could also affect implementation.
It will definitely affect
the budget.
It gives room for corruption. What happens to what the ministries, agencies, and other people are spending between January and February? Okay, maybe they say it's still last year budget, but somehow they really need to work on it. 12 calendar years, this kind of budget should be the focus. I don't know how the president will do it. Since he came on board, I think there is this delay in passage of budget. And that might be one of the reasons contributing to poor implementation of it. Don't let me even say might be. It is definitely one of the factors contributing to it. So the Senate is right. That's if they are not just paying lips, you know, if they are not just saying it, if they really mean it. One of their functions is, one of their roles is oversight function, to ensure that this amount is budgeted for this, how is it being implemented. If only they can be alive to their duty, I want to believe that we have more a better result when it comes to budget implementation, but they are actually not alive to their oversight function.
All right, everyone. Well, they are not alive to their oversight functions. We apologize. We couldn't bring our second guest in for some reasons. We are actually making justice, doing the best we can to touch on the headlines. But then in our next edition, we will have our guests here live and direct. But then this is a world of tech, so many things cannot be predicted. Like they were talking about the e-transmission of election results. But now, can we come talking about e-transmission of election results? FCT cancel election
result
is going to be happening tomorrow. The election itself. There is this saying, oh, no, something happened, and that is the withdrawal, all right, of PDP candidates from the race.
Yes.
Does it mean there is no need, or you feel they shouldn't just waste their time, their party will not succeed?
You and I know who is in control as far as FCT is concerned now. And he said it publicly, that if you only support a candidate that supports the president, that's FCT minister. His loyalty is 100% for the president. So to some extent, or to a large extent, he controlled and controls who has the ticket in this election, especially for APC. Majority of people you see in APC, they are just his, his boys, his loyalists that he brought from PDP to APC. So I'm not surprised. So he just told that one that, okay, you still remain my boy, but then just step down. It's an agreement. Step down for APC. This is where we are going. APC must, is the major of this thing.
So their withdrawal is the handiwork of the FCT?
Definitely,
minister?
because we saw in the picture, it was after meeting the two of them. So it's not a speculation. He did the job. So it's not a mere speculation. He did the job. He talked to the other guy that, come, so I'm sure they must have promised that one too. That, okay, if you can step down, maybe there will be other benefits coming. So it's politics at work.
But
I won't be surprised maybe for the first time in how many years if APC just sweep the whole
like it happens in Rivers State.
Yes. I foresee
that that's going to be difficult here because this is FCT.
I don't see it being difficult. Why will it be difficult? Why will it? Number one,
okay, if the election is free and fair.
Even if it's free and fair. See, and it might be a reflection of what will happen in 2027. I'm sorry to say, opposition currently has been crippled. There is no any formidable opposition in Nigeria as we speak. I don't know what will happen maybe between now and 2027. They have less than a year to prepare. But as I speak to you, currently in Nigeria, there is no any formidable opposition you can point to. And it's the same with this FCT election. I'm sorry to say, we can't campaign again, but then campaign is over. I'm not campaigning, we are just analyzing. But let's be sincere with ourselves. I don't see that. I don't see anything serious.
But for this election,
for opposition,
CSOs are predicting apathy. And of course, INEC are ready to do a test of the Electoral Act for 2027 in this election. So these two things put together, are you of the same opinion or you differ in opinion?
Yeah, voter apathy is not. This is not the first time it's happening in FCT. In most cases, if you look at the percentage of registered voters in FCT compared to the number of votes cast, it's always, the percentage is always very low. So I won't be surprised if it happens again tomorrow. And then, concerning the press, you said they want to test the electoral
yes.
Act. It has been signed into law. So it took effect from 2 days ago that the president assented to it. So definitely that's what they are going to conduct the election with.
INEC said 90 to 92% they are ready for the e-transmission of results. And a guest today on my program said it actually worked in the Anambra election to an extent because they have their own way of monitoring using the artificial intelligence.
Yes, it worked to some. I was in Anambra for the election. Honestly, that was one of the most peaceful elections I've ever witnessed. That Anambra election was very peaceful, and I saw, though it wasn't especially vote by, I saw it, I reported
everyone in that monitored
vote buying was just the major thing that spoiled that election. Aside that, I didn't really see much of rigging like that, or how would I put it, security breakdown or whatever. The major problem with that election was purely vote by. That was, this thing is fast becoming a norm.
Which party bought votes?
All of them.
Okay, all the parties.
Let me shock you with this. Do you know, I actually saw a young lady. Immediately I saw her, I knew this lady must be a first voter, like she's voting for the first time. I saw the excitement. I told my colleagues that this must be a first timer. They said, "How did I know?" I said, "Let's interview her." So we called her, we interviewed her, and we asked her, did they pay you to? This girl innocently opened up and said, "I have it in the news. I reported it." She said she was paid to vote. Then we asked her, we asked her how much. I think she said maybe 3,000 or thereabouts.
3,000.
But when we asked which party, she didn't tell us. But then, looking around, I saw different parties, party agents. You know, it's not only, you can't just accuse only one party. It's fast becoming a norm in our electoral system. And I just hope something will be done to address this ugly trend. Because they do it with audacity these days. Even security, I snapped a picture, I think I should still have it on my phone, where the security officer was actually standing like this. It was in his presence. A security officer was standing in his presence, and this trading was going on. I couldn't accuse him, actually, but I snapped. It was after I left, I said I should have recorded I made a video instead of just picture. You know, they can deny picture and all that, but I still have the picture on my phone. And it broke my heart that, so we have degenerated to this extent. So back to FCT election, there will definitely be voter party. That one is sure. It's historically, it has always been like that. Vote buying, expect it. Then INEC testing the Electoral Act, that's normal, because it has become a law. So
so what's responsible for voter party?
Voter party,
in your own opinion?
In FCT, majorly, I think it's because we have a lot of elite. And you know, in Nigeria, elites hardly vote. We've left the voting to the hungry people. Sorry to say, in quote, hungry people who go out to sell their vote. But the elite who feel, what do I need their 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira for? They don't go out. They feel they are okay. The major thing, it boils down to the fact that the major thing motivating people to come out to vote is money. They are going there to sell their vote. And because elite, which, especially in the eyebrow area, in the city center, in Abuja, we have a lot of people who you can't induce with just 3,000, 5,000 naira to vote.
But don't you think that's a wrong perception by the elites?
It is.
Because they can come out, if all the elites team up together, their number can even maybe outweigh that of the people who are the acclaimed hungry voters.
The acclaimed elites in Nigeria, we feel we know, and we don't really know. We feel, just leave them, it's their thing, politicians, leave them with their thing, but I won't just participate. I'm too smart, I'm too wise, I'm well-read, I'm well-read, and I can't bring myself to this level. So because of that, we leave politics to politicians, and then the hungry masses to decide. And it is the same elite that will come out and be crying. Whenever the people chosen or voted by the hungry masses are dealing with them. So it's a call for action, to action for elite in Nigeria. Whenever, if you ask majority of people, take a kind of sample opinion among your friends, you will be shocked that majority don't have voters card. But go and ask an average pure water seller on the street. They have their card. They are always ready. Whenever you call them to come and vote, they will come out. Unfortunately, that woman is hungry, and anyone can can easily buy him or her off. So the elite that cannot be easily bought off are there without their voters card. So I'm appealing to the elite class in Nigeria, even though we are minority, but then our voice too can't when it comes to deciding who becomes who in the country. Don't let us just stay aloof and leave this thing to the hungry masses to do. It's one of the reasons we are where we are today.
All right. Can we talk about the former FCT minister and former Governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai?
Oh, okay.
El-Rufai, ICPC raided El-Rufai's Abuja residence. Were you expecting this whole drama to go this far? First of all, it started from an attempted arrest at the airport, then an invitation. Now, it's in the hands of ICPC, and his house has been raided. Is it just a case taken too far?
You see, I just wish that this can be extended to every other leader, past leaders, where regardless of the party you belong. I'm happy this is happening to El-Rufai, but I'm not happy at the same time that because he's in opposition, I feel to some extent that is why his case is being handled this way. There are a lot of people in the ruling party today that did worse than El-Rufai when they were in power. That if they are to probe them, worse things will be discovered. So I was not expecting anything less. After watching the interview granted by the past former governor of Kaduna State on Arise TV, after watching that interview, I told myself that nobody is above the law. He has actually implicated himself in many ways. So law should be allowed to take its course. And that is what we are having now. And my appeal is, if it happens to anybody too, regardless of the party you belong to, regardless of the region you come from, regardless of the religion you practice, let the law always take its due course. What is happening to El-Rufai now is normal. And I hope the government will follow it to the letter.
Look at the issue of the former CBN governor, Emefiele. Then you look at the issue of Malami, the AGM. Then you look at the issue of Nasir El-Rufai, and a lot of other politicians and public office holders. What message do you think this is originally supposed to pass to Nigerians?
It only tells us that a lot of politicians, the past and the current one who are in power, by the time they leave office, and we are allowed to hold them accountable for whatever it is that they did or they are doing, you will be surprised that none of them is a saint.
But is it possible to hold all of them to account?
It's very possible. We have EFCC, we have ICPC, we have a Code of Conduct Tribunal and all that. It's quite unfortunate that there is a section of our law that mandate every public office holder to declare their assets when they are in office. When they are leaving office too, they are to declare it. But the question we should ask is, who is holding them responsible? If you declare 1 million when you get to office, and you are leaving office, you are declaring 3 million in terms of assets and cash and other things. Who is following it up that this 3 million naira you are declaring while leaving office? Where did you get it? How did you get it? So they only fulfill all righteousness by coming to office. Some of them don't even declare it. It's quite unfortunate. We have a lot of law enforcement agents put in place in Nigeria, but they are toothless. I'm sorry to say, a lot of them are toothless. The only time you will see them being active is when the ruling party gives them a go-ahead to hold anyone accountable. Aside that, they are toothless. Be it EFCC, be it ICPC, and Code of Conduct Tribunal, and many of them like that. If all of them can be active and be non-partisan, regardless of who you are, they hold you accountable for whatever it is that you did and you are doing while in office, we will not be where we are. I said something on this program last time that when there is no accountability measure, people can be ruthless, they can be reckless when they are in power. And that is what we have. In Nigeria, you can steal with 90% assurance that you will not be caught and you will not be held accountable. So if you are in a system like that, even if you are a saint, if care is not taken, you'll be tempted to steal because you know there is no repercussion, there is no consequence for it. But when you have consequence, when you know that there is a consequence for stealing, that you may likely not go away with it, you will think twice. Let's learn from China to some extent. They made a law, capital punishment for corrupt public officers. If you are caught stealing public money, you are gone. It's a capital punishment. If we can also get to that level, you know that once you are caught stealing, you can't escape it. I want to believe that all our politicians and public officials will sit tight. But as it is now, you can steal recklessly and nobody will hold you responsible. For Malam El-Rufai, let him face the music.
Okay.
Because he was actually talking as if he was untouchable. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, all right.
On that interview.
I think with what is going on, a lot will be learned by other politicians and public office holders. I want us to talk about one particular societal issue that was on one of the papers today, and that has to do with the issue of rape. And you know, the issue of Mirabel has been everywhere on social media, reactions and so many things until today,
honestly,
where she was coming out to say, well, she actually formulated everything, including the chat that she put forward on social media. Now, a man, all right, backed life jail for raping lover's 13-year-old sister.
That's, he has a lover.
Yes.
And the lover, the girlfriend, or maybe wife or whatever, has a sister who is 13 years old.
Yes.
And
in an uncompleted building.
It's quite unfortunate. You see, at times I look at rapists like beasts. To me, they are not normal. Then coming down to rape a 13-year-old girl, that's another crazy level. I want to believe majority of our viewers will be above 18 or whatever. But let me say this. The way I perceive sex is the fact that this major satisfaction you derive from it is coming from the feedback you are getting from your partner, the person you are doing it with. If the person you are doing it with is enjoying it, it gives you a kind of satisfaction. But in a situation whereby you are forcing your way, the person is written in pain, crying as you are doing it, and then you still have the urge, nothing dies in you, then those ones are not normal human beings to me. That's the way I see it. Because the one will expect that for normal human being, the urge should die. The moment the person you are doing it with is complaining of pains, crying for help, where is the urge coming from?
The problem is that these people could be doing it for several other reasons.
Rituals, that one too is there. That one too is there.
So what do you expect from the law in just a minute as we try to round up?
There is a law for that. I think it's 14 years in jail, it's even life imprisonment too. So whoever is caught, just like I said earlier, law should be allowed to take its course.
All right.
Without for the Mirabel of a girl, it's quite unfortunate. One of the major implications of what Mirabel did is the fact that when a real victim is crying out next time,
nobody
people will not believe him or her.
That's the implication. All right, thank you very much, Joel Oladele, for joining us. You were able to do justice to the headlines, despite the fact that our other guests couldn't join for some reasons, technical and all of that. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, everyone, this is the size of Global Roundtable today. We'll come on your way again. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Bye-bye for now.